Hi everyone, welcome to this video. And in this video I want to talk about how to paint this fish and more. So this is actually part of a lesson I made for my Patreon page. And on my Patreon I give weekly lessons about how to paint these kind of things. And here I wanted to give a demo of what you can expect if you join my Patreon page. So this week I wanted to explain how I paint characters like this. So this is part 3 of a longer series for a painting book I'm working on. And here I want to show how I paint characters. So this is the first painting video about characters, so it covers the basics. So what I'm doing is I have here these brushes I use, and for painting I use this paintbrush. So I have this paintbrush, and this is my basic color. And I start with this actually. For example, let me show it from the start. So I have this sketch, and the sketch is normally on like this. Maybe you scanned it on of paper. What you can do is you can put it on multiply, and now you can see through it. And I'm working in Adobe Photoshop, and that's a drawing program, or it's a photo editing program. You probably heard of it. And you can use it to draw and paint these characters. So what I'm doing is I put this layer on multiply and then paste a layer under it. We make a new layer with this button. And with the selection tool, I create this shape, big shape first. So now let me do it quite quickly, so you have an idea of how I work. And I try to do this video in 10 minutes, so it's not too long. So I now want to fill this one with the color. So it's this orange color, and I'm using which A is B in Adobe Photoshop. So that is this one. And I work with these colors because here you can control the colors, here you can control the saturation, and here you can control the value or the brightness. So here we have this orange, let's fill it. And now I press with this layer selected, Ctrl G, and I click with Ctrl pressed in on this thumbnail of the layer. And then with the map selected, I press this mask button. And now I have a mask here. So when I'm now drawing within this, it's in the shape. So if I put this layer on top of it, you can see it's out of that shape. And if I put it in the folder with the mask, you see it's masked by the mask. So here now I can start shading this fish. So make it a bit darker, so like this. So this is how I would start. Maybe make it a bit saturated, make the shadow a bit more red. So it's kind of dull if you just use the core color, but then darker. So I always slide this marker here to get a bit more interesting colors. You don't want to have the exact same color everywhere. So then I start painting. Maybe I want this to be a bit more yellow highlight. And paint it here. So maybe something like this. Maybe also something here. So this is then the basic. So I also want to have some reflective light here, back here, so it looks more 3D. So something like this. So now I start with different layers. Let's draw in this eyeball. So I make this selection of the eyeball, and I fill it with a color like white. Then I press this button, and what this button do is that you can draw within the shape. So again, I make a shadow color, make it a bit darker and a bit more red, because I don't want gray. You don't want gray shadows or black shadows because that's dull. So here, make this a bit of 3D-ish. So you can turn off the layers on and off to see how it actually looks. and sometimes people ask me, when do you remove the line work? And I check it on and off until I don't need it anymore. So now I draw in the pupil or the iris. So make selection and fill this maybe also with a dark orange color. Select this button again so you can draw within the shape. And with irises, the light is coming from the top left corner, but then with the iris, the down right corner is lighter. So it's the opposite of the rest. So I duplicate this layer and then I press Ctrl T and I make it smaller. And I can use that as a pupil. So like this here. Maybe move it around a bit on where I want to place it. Put these lines off and see how it works. It's okay. Let's add a highlight here. So something like this. So what I also sometimes do is I make a new layer and I take and make my brush soft. So here, this brush is hardness on 100. So I put it down to 0. And let's paint in some reflective light so it looks more like glass, because an eyeball looks a bit like glass. So I take the eraser, press E, a shortcut, and I erase a bit of it like this. Now I make the brush soft again and erase a bit more until I have something I like this. Maybe put the opacity of the layer down. It's not really what I want, but okay, maybe put the pupil on top of it. And what in a later stage, what I will do is I make a new layer and I will be drawing on top of that, maybe making those edges around the iris like this, adding a bit of a highlight here. So it looks like some thickness there. And also in an earlier lesson, I explained about occlusion shadows. So maybe I add something here and here. So maybe I can add another shape. Let's draw in here this fin on his back. So I make the selection. I take a soft brush. Maybe I make a new layer, put this in a folder and put a mask on. And now I can paint in this folder a bit extra shadow. And this fin is really thin, but it has this thickness. So I'm painting in this glow here and take a brush and I can also paint in some extra details like here and there. So that is basically how I paint a character like this. And yeah, this is the basic technique. And in the video on my page, and I go more in depth in it. So this is a video of 1 hour where I paint this character and also another character. I can also show that. So here, just the goldfish. And how I also sometimes work is with value. So I start drawing in black and white. And I do that because then I can focus on the values of color. So then you can really see if something looks 3D or not. And then I put a layer on top of it, make a selection on top of it. So here, put a new layer, put it in a folder, and then you can add the color in it, like maybe here. So here now you don't see anything, but I put this layer on color. So something like this. So it doesn't look like much now, but then I try to find something that works the best. So here, like this. And then I start adding colors like blue eyes. So I pick this blue color, paint this in, maybe make the hair brown, like this. And when I have put those colors in it, I start to paint on top of it. So I can show that here in these examples. Maybe you've seen this on my Instagram post. So I start like this, and then I keep adding these colors on top of it. And then you see, there's some details lost because of that, but then later you can add them again. So that's how I work with my character. Sometimes I work directly with color, and other times I start with the black and white version, because then you can really focus on getting that 3D feel right first, because values are really important. So that's what I wanted to show. And on my Patreon video, I made a video of it's 1 hour 1 hour long, the video. So here you can see a bit of it. So it's 1 hour where I show how to paint this character, and I explain how my brushes works and what kind of brushes I use, and how I paint a character like this. So I also have each week on my Patreon, I give weekly video homework lessons. So here you can see me reviewing some people's homework. So here I was giving some tips about figure drawing. So each week I give an assignment, and then people can send me their version, and then I give feedback in videos like this. And I do this weekly. And this video is 1 hour long. So each week on my Patreon, you get a video like this of a sort of online lesson. And I try to make an online school. So here I'm telling about painting these kind of objects, 1 hour video. And then I do an homework assignment review. So that's what I do on my Patreon. And if you join this month, you can get this book for free if you subscribe before the 1st of next month. So see you on my Patreon for more information about this. So if you now join, you get this book for free with a subscription. And it's my new book about drawing backgrounds with perspective and how to draw effects like explosions and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. I hope you liked this video, and let me know what you think. And if you have any questions about painting or about my Patreon, let me know. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.